Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 275 based on novel. So let's start. Master, is this guy's statement credible? It's as strong as Xiao Yan and there's something to fear. Xiao Yan couldn't help but ask in a low voice, looking at the phantom pupil whose aura was growing stronger in front of him. He's right, everything in the world is mutually reinforcing. Whether it is a powerful creature, it also has its nemesis. It's just that I have heard about the nemesis of Saint Flame, but I really don't know what it is. The Soul Eater shook his head slightly when he heard the words. Obviously, based on his experience, he had never heard of heaven and earth. There are also things that restrain holy flames. After all, holy flames are too rare. It seems that I have to pay attention in the future. Xiao Yang nodded slightly, not too entangled, and concentrated on preparing to fight. Boy, let me show you what a real alien from the outside world is. After Ian Tong finished speaking, the strange green evil light on his body instantly burst out, forming a green beast in front of his body. The green beast is like a hungry wolf, its hideous face and violent and evil power make people shudder. What a vicious wave. His eyes were fixed on the green hungry wolf, and suddenly the fire heart Tianyang in Xiao Yang's body burst out with an extremely dazzling disgust, wishing to swallow it up and wipe it clean. Kill him for me. Summoning the evil hungry wolf, the man in the green robe smiled slowly and shouted at him. The hungry wolf, who was full of green evil light, heard the words, and suddenly roared, echoing in the whole sky. This extraterritorial evil clan has blatantly entered the Thunder Tomb. It seems that there is a problem inside the Thunder Valley. And now, I am afraid that people from the outside world do not know the current situation of the Thunder Tomb. This guy's strength is too strong. If he is defeated, I am afraid that he can only take refuge in the Thunder Pond. In the forbidden area on the third floor of the Thunder Tomb, there should be enough power in the forbidden area to easily obliterate these foreign evil races. Du Du and Chi Fei looked at the phantom pupil, her beautiful eyes flickering slightly. At this time, if she wanted to truly defeat the phantom pupil, it would be extremely difficult. The only way to completely use the reincarnation token to trigger the power of reincarnation, but that would make the reincarnator wake up early, no matter the strength. Even his memory was incomplete, and the most important thing was that Du Chifei didn't want to become another person. Although he didn't know that he was a reincarnator, the tyrannical silver thunder between his eyebrows told her vaguely that once he used this power completely, I am afraid that Du Chifei's personality and even personality would undergo earth-shaking changes. What a tyrannical fluctuation. Looking at the green hungry wolf in front of him, Xiao Yang felt a heavy feeling in his heart. The pressure this guy put on him was no trivial matter, and Xiao Yang faintly sensed that this phantom pupil didn't seem to be using his true abilities. It seems that the battle will be decided quickly. If we lose the enemy, we can only retreat first. Looking at the green hungry wolf and the phantom pupil, Xiao Yang made up his mind. After all, the power of these two is extremely terrifying. Being alone, he is naturally not afraid, but there are many companions by his side, although he can completely obliterate Guan Tong. But what about other people? So Xiao Yang will naturally not disregard the safety of others. Hot explosion technique. With a cold snort, the dazzling flames instantly compressed and burned within the body. The next moment, Xiao Yang's speed skyrocketed, leaving behind after images in the void. What a fast speed. Looking at Xiao Yang in the sky, who couldn't see the figure clearly because of the extremely fast speed, the girls below spoke slowly. This guy seems to have some strength. Huan Tong didn't have any intention of making a move. This hungry wolf is his own proud work. If Xiao Yang is defeated, then there is no need to make his own move. Boom. Because of the skyrocketing speed, the space was filled with the power of an extremely terrifying holy flame, and the suppression of the extraterritorial evil race became more and more tyrannical. 3 punches of good fortune. 1 punch jumps the mountain. Xiao Yang's eyes were indifferent. While moving at a high speed, a majestic flame of Do Qi continued to condense above the fist, and even on the surface of the fist, the power of the holy flame was added, so that this an attack becomes even more powerful. Break it to me. The next moment, a fist blasted out, and then the whole sky became restless, and terrifying energy ripples and cracks continued to emerge around the fist, and its fist shadow directly faced the hungry wolf. It's a very strong attack, but it's not enough. Just as Xiao Yang's brilliant flame fist was about to hit the green hungry wolf, the green light around the green hungry wolf suddenly squirmed, and a pair of eyes appeared like countless one-eyed eyes. Boom boom boom. The giant flame fist directly attacked the green one-eyed. The next moment, the energy of Xiao Yang's giant flame fist, which contained the power of holy flame, was slowly absorbed by the green one-eye. Absorbing the power of holy flame? And Xiao Yang has become dignified when he sees this scene. This is the first time Xiao Yang has faced such a difficult situation with a foreign evil clan. After the green one-eyed absorbed the power of holy flame, the green light around the hungry wolf suddenly exploded. It's still too reluctant. Seeing this scene, Phantom Tong shook his head slightly, apparently just using the green eye to absorb Xiao Yang's holy flame's power, and finally failed. Next, let me sing an elegy for you. The next moment, without the protection of the green light, the aura of the hungry wolf also shriveled, and was directly taken back by the magic pupil. At the same time, the magic hitami suddenly collapsed against the void, and an extremely terrifying wave filled the entire space. The next moment, the green evil aura continued to emerge from the body of the illusion pupil, and then the eyes of the illusion pupil swelled rapidly in the sky in an instant, and the next moment, it was full of hundreds of Zhong size. Those green eyes that are nearly 100 feet in size are filled with a demagogic evil force, which makes people shudder at a glance. Not good. Let's go. Upon realizing this scene, Yun Qi, who had a weak breath, shouted loudly at everyone fighting in the sky. I was injured because of this attack from the phantom pupil. My good fellow, it's actually a pupil technique. This time, let's retreat first. Looking at the arrogant phantom pupil in front of him, the Lord of Soul Eater said. En. Xiao Yang nodded lightly, and then a rare wave of terror suddenly appeared on the fist. The two fists of good fortune, shake the world. As soon as the voice fell without hesitation, when the phantom pupil's eyes were about to take shape, he suddenly shot at him. Crash. On Xiao Yang's fist, there is not only a terrifying wave that can destroy all things, but also the power of holy flame, so with the rapid sound of breaking the wind, a huge fist of energy of hundreds of meters, in the distance bombed out. This time, I won. Let them all stay as my puppets. Boom boom boom. Facing Xiao Yang's tyrannical blow, Huan Tong had no fear at all, and even his huge eyes were filled with a sense of madness. This time, I won't play with you. See you next time, I will definitely take your head. Xiao Yang sneered, then his figure flashed instantly, and he came to the center of the girls. The next moment, a silver space formation suddenly appeared. Space array? Where are you running? Upon realizing this scene, Huan Tong's complexion changed dramatically, and the green evil aura shot him away. Wang buzzing. It's a pity that no matter how fast the attack of the phantom pupil is, it can't lose the speed of the space formation, and it is instantly lost. In this space, only the controlled blood crystal of Mu Xiao and the phantom pupil who are caught in an angry roar are left. It's really a group of cunning humans. Seeing Xiao Yang and the others who rushed into the space formation and disappeared instantly, Huan Tong immediately retracted all the attacks, stood there blankly, and muttered to himself. No matter how these guys escape, they can't escape from the Thunder Tomb, because the current Thunder Tomb has been secretly changed by the powerhouses of their ghostly clan, and they can only enter but not go out. It's better not to report this matter to Lord Huanzun. After I capture the master of this holy flame, let Lord Huanzun have a good time. Let's go. After Phantom Tong finished speaking, the figure flickered, bathed under the green robe, and continued to move towards other places. Wang buzzing. Xiao Yang and the others were at a critical moment, but fortunately, Xiao Yang used the space shuttle handprint to escape the attack of the phantom pupil. Otherwise, the 6 of them just now would be dead. Cough cough cough. The space channel emerged, and suddenly everyone came directly to a mountain range. The mountain is low and flat, and the huge bushes and vegetation cover it very well, making it a natural refuge. Are you okay? Seeing Yun Qi's pale face, Yu Wei asked with concern. I'm fine. Yun Qi forced a smile to the crowd and said, but only she knew that the injury in her body was not optimistic. Yun Qi, don't hold on, now Xiao Yang has the holy flame, which is just right to expel the evil power for you. Du Chifei said at a glance. Yun Qi and Du Chifei were also old rivals, so Yun Qi didn't need to cover up after being exposed by them. I am afraid that the situation in this Thunder Tomb is also severe. Today's refuge is probably only the Thunder Pond. In the Thunder Pond, there is the power of thunder, which is the most young and just, although it is not as good as the nemesis of the holy flame for the aliens, but if we enter the Thunder Pond, we can also avoid the attacks of the aliens. Duo Chifei continued to speak. We lost contact with the outside world, and the Thunder card that left the Thunder Tomb also lost its effect. What should I do? Yuran said slightly. In the Thunder Tomb, there is a holy place, where the evil races from outside the territory are categorically afraid to go. After we enter the Thunder Pond, I will take Xiao Yang to the forbidden area. Whether or not this crisis can be resolved depends on good fortune. Duo Chifei said slightly. This is one of the few ways for him, otherwise, in the end, I am afraid only by triggering reincarnation can this extraterritorial evil race be completely suppressed. These are some healing medicines, everyone should take them as soon as possible. When I get rid of the evil power in Yun Qi's body, we will immediately go to the Thunder Pond to take refuge. Hearing Du Chifei's voice, everyone nodded and Xiao Yang said. Also, Liu Qing, use your soul voice transmission to tell the contestants in the Thunder Tomb to go to the Thunder Pond for refuge. The next moment, Xiao Yang opened his mouth. In this case, doesn't it reveal our position? Liu Qing asked slightly. I am afraid that most of the Lei tombs have already been controlled by the Ghost Clan, so even if they know about it, it doesn't matter. Xiao Yang said. Since that's the case, let's start. After Liu Qing finished speaking, the girls were in charge of guarding the mountains, while Liu Qing began to use soul power to transmit messages and let the contestants who had not yet been controlled go to the Thunder Pond. Let's go too. Xiao Yang looked at the pale Yun Qi and said. Where to? Yun Qi asked. There is a river in front of you. Holy flame forces out the power of evil, and the water flow can help you recover faster. Xiao Yang scratched his head and said, barely finding a reason to prevaricate it. Xiao Yang couldn't do it in front of a few women. After a while, the two came to a pond not far from the mountain range. In the pond, the water flow is about 1 meter deep and crystal clear. In addition, the surrounding area of the pond is covered by vegetation, so no one will find it. What should I do? When he came to the pond, he felt that the evil power in his body was constantly eroding away from his internal organs. Yun Qi didn't have time to think about it, he took a deep breath and said. Enter the center of the pond, protect your mind, and leave the rest to me. Xiao Yang originally wanted to say that he took off his clothes and entered the pond. Big mistake, but think about it carefully, after all, men and women are different, so he still shook his head and said. Okay. Yun Qi heard the words, and a blush flashed on her pretty face. With her huge soul power, she naturally discovered Xiao Yang's thoughts. Crash. As soon as he entered the pond, he sat down immediately, his elegant dress was instantly wet by the water, and the wet dress was tightly attached to Yun Qi's body, giving the graceful curve to him. Outline. Fire. The next moment, Xiao Yang also walked gently. Next to Yun Qi, the khaki yellow holy flame crystal appeared directly on the palm of the hand, and the khaki yellow holy flames continued to emerge, filling the entire pond. What a tyrannical flame energy. It is indeed a holy flame. This level of energy is much more tyrannical than my fire-type little heavenly seed. Yun Qi felt the baking of the khaki flame, and suddenly felt in his heart. He muttered slightly. Is it at the chest? His eyes swept across Yun Qi's shatterable face, and he immediately looked down, but he found a faint green light between the two undulating mountains in front of his chest. The location of your wound is a bit special. Xiao Yang said with a frown. Obviously because of the isolation of clothes, there was a lot of resistance to Xiao Yang's power to expel evil. I know, the situation was urgent, you just let it go. You saved my life. Yun Qi whispered. That can only be presumptuous, take off your clothes, and I will completely expel the power of evil for you. Xiao Yang closed his eyes, then turned his back to Yun Qi. It's really a gentleman. Looking at Xiao Yang's actions, Yun Qi couldn't help but 2 small dimples appeared on his pretty face, and smiled. The next moment, the crimson on Yun Qi's pretty face was even more alluring. Obviously, although she was the favored son of heaven, it was the first time she had come into contact with the opposite at such a close distance, but she still carefully unbuttoned the clothes on her chest. Is that okay? Yun Qi took off all the clothes on his chest, and then a touch of spring light was exposed in the pond space, and asked Xiao Yang. Calm down. I'm going to start. If you can't bear it, just remind me loudly. Xiao Yang turned around, and on top of the dazzling holy flame crystal, drops of khaki yellow liquid slowly dripped towards Yun Qi's chest. The khaki liquid just touched Yun Qi's chest, and a fiery burning sensation came from his body. It hurts. Being tortured so much, Yun Qi couldn't help but let out a low voice of coquettish anger. Then take a rest. Xiao Yang said after seeing a few drops of khaki liquid dripping down, the evil light group on his chest weakened slightly. No, I can persevere. At this moment, a rare stubbornness appeared on Yun Qi's face. Then continue, and remember to tell me when you can't hold it any longer. Xiao Yang nodded slightly when he heard the words, but he did not dare to exert too much holy flame power, but slowly expelled it. At this moment, in the pond, a khaki flame continued to flicker, and a fascinated sound of anger continued to sound. Once the time has passed, it is 5 days. During the 5 days, the energy in the Thunder Tomb became more and more tyrannical, and the spread of the evil aura was also increasing. I am afraid that many of the tens of thousands of contestants have already fallen into the hands of evil minions. For 5 days, Xiao Yang was also driving the power of Holy Flame day and night to drive out the evil power for Yun Qi, which made Yun Qi's favorability for Xiao Yang soar. Even the consumption of Sheng Yang is a kind of consumption that is not low. Xiao Yang can do this for himself. That's why Xiao Yang did this. Last minute. Use your strength to completely force out the evil force. For 5 days, the green light on Yun Qi's chest was gradually forced out by Xiao Yang, until now it was only the size of a finger. You're done. Yun Qi heard the words, nodded slightly, the dazzling fighting spirit in his body was mobilized, and then he launched a final sprint against the last trace of evil power. Boom! With a deafening voice, his red lips moved slightly, and a trace of green liquid suddenly spit out. Where to run? Xiao Yang had been waiting for this moment for a long time. The source of evil had just appeared, and he suddenly realized a sense of unease. Just as he wanted to run, Xiao Yang's dazzling power of holy flame wiped it out in an instant as clean. Finally, successful. Xiao Yang, thank you. Yun Qi forced a smile, and then fell into a coma. It was obvious that she had been resisting the confrontation between the evil power and the holy flame for the past few days, which had exhausted her. Hey! Xiao Yang heard the words, slowly opened his eyes, but unexpectedly saw the spring light on Yun Qi's chest, hurriedly suppressed the strange thoughts in his lower abdomen, put on Yun Qi's clothes, and hugged Yun Qi. She left here. How's it going? The other 4 girls were sitting around under a big tree, discussing something. Seeing Xiao Yang walking over with Yun Qi in his arms, they couldn't help but feel a trace of jealousy in their hearts. The treatment they have never had. It's all right, let her rest for a day, and tomorrow we can go to the Thunder Pond. Xiao Yang gently placed the unconscious Yun Qi on the grass, and then said to the crowd. However, Xiao Yang's action surprised the 4 girls. Obviously, when did Xiao Yang and Yun Qi become so good, but this reason, Xiao Yang can't tell, maybe because there is something in Yun Qi. Special magic. Is there a direction for Thunder Pond? Looking at the 4 girls who were silent, Xiao Yang was also confused and hurriedly broke the calm. The location of the Thunder Pond is there, but with the spread of the voice transmission of the soul, many strong people have reported back, and they have also been attacked by the evil race from outside the territory. But I have made an agreement with them to go to Thunder Pond with us tomorrow for refuge. Liu Qing thought, but his voice was full of doubts. But there's something suspicious about it. Since the extraterritorial evil clan can control the contestants, the news that we have entered the Thunder Pond to take refuge may also reach their ears. Although the power in the Thunder Pond makes it impossible for them to enter, I am worried that they may set up at the entrance of the Thunder Pond. Ambush and catch us all. After all, the full power of this extraterritorial evil clan is still unknown to us, and since they dare to come so blatantly, they are naturally fully prepared. Duo Chifei said worriedly. Your thoughts are not unreasonable, but don't forget that the tens of thousands of people who participated this time are not some unknown people. Gathering the strength of all of us, even if the evil race from outside the territory comes to block, there is still a chance to fight back. Even if we pay a painful price, as long as we can enter the Thunder Pond and go to the forbidden area of the Thunder Tomb, we will have a chance to survive. Xiao Yang said with a smile. It turns out that, no wonder you asked me to send my soul voice transmission to gather all the surviving contestants. It turned out to be the reason. Now, Liu Qing also understood Xiao Yang's intention. Smart. Xiao Yang smiled when he heard the words. In that case, take a good rest today and go to Thunder Pond tomorrow. Before entering the Thunder Pond, I'm afraid there will be a fierce battle. Everyone, be prepared. Xiao Yang said. Everyone nodded slightly. Elsewhere in Rei's tomb. Brother Mu, do you think Liu Qing's soul transmission was faked by a foreign evil race? Is there really that kind of magic in Lei Kai? Behind a dark rock, mage and a few men slowly appeared. It's a little strange that these people's strengths are all 2-star Doshin perfection, but their body above, there are some scars, big and small, obviously left by the previous battle with the foreign evil race. Whether it's true or not, we have to go and try it. The Thunder Pond is the only place of refuge in the Thunder Tomb. If we don't go to the Thunder Pond, even if it is us, it will be slowly eaten away by the evil races outside the territory, she said. Since entering the Thunder Tomb, although they have collected a lot of tyrannical energy bodies to enhance their own strength, but they have no choice but to encounter the powerful foreigners several times. With their tyrannical strength, they barely escaped, but this is not the way. After all, the recovery pills they carry are limited, and the power of the alien race seems to be inexhaustible. Take a rest today, and go to the entrance of Thunder Pond in the morning tomorrow. This time, the Tomb of Thunder is not as simple as I imagined. Mu Ji looked at the sky, and strange evil auras continued to emerge, and he also understood that this was a precursor to the coming storm. In addition, some other powerful guys also received Liu Qing's soul voice transmission one after another. After thinking about it, they had no choice but to decide to move closer to Lei Kai. Master Phantom, according to the information obtained by the subordinates. Tomorrow, the contestants in the Thunder Cemetery will all head towards the Thunder Pond, trying to take refuge in it on a cliff. The green robe with phantom pupils stands slightly, and Mu Xiao respectfully said behind him, Lei Kai. The power of Thunder Pond is beyond our reach. In addition, the three adults, Yu Huan and Yu Zun Huan Zun, are trying their best to find the entrance to the Lei Tomb Forbidden Area. I have the final say here. Pass my order, gather all the forces, set up an ambush around the Thunder Pond, and wipe out these humans tomorrow. Phantom Tong slowly said. Yes, my lord. Mu Xiao heard the words, the green evil light squirmed slightly, and then disappeared here. Why on earth are the three adults looking for the forbidden area of Lei Tomb? Is there anything that can't be found there? And the ghost-bandaged guy under Lord Yozuan's seat, the breath has disappeared in the past few days, what is he doing? Phantom pondered slightly. Thunder Pond, this is a very special place in the Thunder Tomb. It is located somewhere on the edge of the Thunder Tomb. Because of its peculiar energy, it absorbs the power of thunder all day long, thus forming a natural void thunder pond. In the void thunder pond, the tyrannical power of thunder has mysterious and unpredictable power, plus various rumors from the outside world, so it is regarded by many strong people as a treasure in the Tomb of Thunder. There are still 3 hours before we can reach the entrance of the void thunder pond. After a while, a few figures moved forward cautiously, and Duan Qifei and Xiao Yang were in charge of guarding one after another. It seems that the power of the alien clan has not penetrated here. Liu Qing couldn't help but said, looking at the surrounding flat ground without any aura of the alien clan. It's a little weird here, everyone be careful. Yunqi frowned, and the huge soul power made her feel uneasy. Let's go. Void Thunder Pond is located deep in the Leiling Mountains ahead. As long as we enter the Thunder Pond, then things will be much easier to handle. I hope everything goes well. Xiao Yang glanced at the huge rolling mountain in front of him and muttered, En. When everyone heard the words, they were also constantly moving forward with vigilance. At this moment, not only Xiao Yang and the others were heading towards the entrance of the Thunder Pond in the depths of the Thunder Spirit Mountains, but even many contestants who entered the Thunder Tomb also went there. They all knew that the Thunder Tomb had been destroyed by evil tribes from outside the territory have penetrated, and if they don't seek shelter, I am afraid they will not be able to escape the claws. Mu Xiao, Blood Crystal, how are things going? Green-robed Phantom Eyes asked slowly in a hidden place in the Leiling Mountains. My lord, all powers are hidden in the underground of the Leiling Mountains, and special defenses have been imposed, so they will not be discovered. As long as the lord gives an order, we will launch the most deadly offensive and wipe out these guys. In Mu Xiao's eyes that lost his expression, traces of green continued to emerge. Obviously, the longer the control, the more their own foundations are shaken more seriously. That's very good. Huan Tong smiled lightly, although he knew that Xiao Yang possessed holy flames, but at the same time, he also knew enough to restrain holy flames. In addition, the strength gap between the two was too large, so he was naturally not afraid. However, Huan Tong obviously underestimated Xiao Yang's strength. Before Xiao Yang fled, it was mainly because Yunqi's body was seriously injured. In addition, there were several women in the battle, so he avoided unnecessary damage and fled. If the real fish died and the net was broken, Xiao Yang would not necessarily be defeated by Huan Tong. Leiling Mountains, it's here. I hope Xiao Yang and the others don't deceive us, otherwise, this time, we may be doomed. Mu Ji and his party came to the foot of the Leiling mountain range, silenced their aura, and then slowly walked towards the depths of the mountain range. At the core of the Leiling Mountains, this is an extremely natural freshwater lake. In the lake, the water surface is clear and transparent, and butterflies and dragonflies are constantly leaping out. However, on the water surface, a trace of rare spatial ripples continued to emerge. And the culprit that caused these tiny space ripples was the grey thunder that filled the lake. The power of thunder is grey, and it keeps moving on the water surface. Every time it beats, there will be extremely terrifying spatial fluctuations. Who? Get out! After a while, in the Leiling Mountains, on an extremely wide open space, Mu Ji and his party just came here, ready to take a break, but the guy with the most sensitive sense of smell in the team sensed the void there is something in it, and hurriedly shouted at a certain void. What's the situation? Mu Ji heard the words and glanced away at the surrounding space, but found nothing. Brother Mu Ji, stay safe. The next moment, a hearty laughter slowly emerged. Xiao Yang. The next moment, listening to this familiar voice, the tense nerves of Mu Ji and his group relaxed slightly. It's me. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, the void around him flickered, and the figures of the 5 women also appeared. Yun Qi. Duo Chifei. You are all fine, great. After seeing the appearance of a few women beside Xiao Yang, Mu Ji said with a smile, these guys were not controlled by the foreign evil clan. It seems that there is still a battle otherwise. If these guys are controlled, I am afraid that they will really be powerless. Now we are probably the top power here. Before entering the depths of the Leiling Mountains, we should make some plans. Du Chifei said. Etc. Xiao Yan, send a signal. The next moment, Mu Ji said to the extremely vigilant man in his team. En. The man nodded lightly, and then the dazzling yellow grudge entered the air abruptly, spreading out in all directions. Wang buzzing. The next moment, a team of people rushed towards here. Auction Ju Mi, 6 Holy Religion Spider Li, Ice Soul Hall Bing Mausoleum, Fenghua Valley Fengyu. Looking at the people who were constantly emerging around him, familiar names kept appearing from Xiao Yang's mouth. The 8 major forces of Lei Cheng, except for Mu Xiao and Blood Crystal, who were controlled by the evil tribe outside the territory, the other powerhouses, although they were injured a lot, still have the power to fight. Seeing the appearance of a group of people around, Mu Ji said with a smile, these people will decide whether they can break through the last blockade of the evil race outside the territory and enter the Void Thunder Pool to find the hope of breaking the game. In this case, it's not impossible. Seeing that there were so many, hundreds of people in the huge team, and even a lot of powerhouses are rushing towards here, Xiao Yang suddenly smiled slowly. Is that Xiao Yang? Yun Qi, Mu Ji and Du Chifei. How many of them are, but our last hope? Looking at several representatives in the field, the hearts of countless contestants were raised in their throats. Let's start. Seeing that this space turned into thousands of people in a short time, Xiao Yang said. En. Several representatives nodded slowly. Everyone, I'm Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang's dazzling soul power covered everyone's soul realm. He did this to prevent foreign evil races from listening. Now the Thunder Tomb has been invaded by the evil tribes outside the territory. For this reason, Thunder Valley is trying to find a way to wipe out the evil tribes outside the territory, so you don't need to panic. Later I will use the Holy Flame to give everyone a flame of resistance to the power of evil. This is the last battle of whether we can enter the shelter. I hope everyone, help me. Xiao Yang majestic the sound of. Slowly echoed out. Strengthen my world. Extraterritorial evil clan will be enemies forever. At this moment, these guys also no matter what identity Xiao Yang is, it is obvious that Xiao Yang is a human being, and it has been exposed from the possession of Holy Flame, but compared with the foreign evil clan, the door's view is different. What does it count? Wang bumming. A trace of khaki flames continued to emerge from the body of everyone present. With this trace of Holy Flame power, it was enough for them to stay awake for a short period of time without being controlled by foreign evil clans. Now that you're ready, let's go. Seeing Xiao Yang's pale face, he helped him up, Yun Qi's tender body clinging to Xiao Yang, but he felt some familiar fluctuations. These fluctuations, it seems to originate from the memory of the previous life, but Yun Qi at this time obviously does not have much time to think about other things. In this way, thousands of people headed for the depths of the Leiling Mountains in a mighty manner, but they didn't know whether this trip was life or death. Deep in the Leiling Mountains, in the freshwater lake, at the bottom of the lake. This kind of dazzling fluctuation is good for evil. Is it just as the predecessor before the forging knife Thunder Valley predicted that the Thunder Tomb was eroded? But the entrance to the Thunder Tomb is extremely hidden by the forged sword Thunder Valley. How could they be discovered by them? Why did they enter the Thunder Tomb? Is it for the thing in the forbidden area? At the bottom of the lake, in the dark space, a huge creature slowly opened its pupils, and its body was like a dragon as ancient and powerful. The breath, accompanied by a whisper, filled the bottom of the lake. Next to the huge creature's body, a looming huge light mouth keeps emerging. Obviously, one of them is the guardian guarding the entrance of the Void Thunder Pond, and the other is the entrance light curtain that enters the Void Thunder Pond. It seems that this time, it's troublesome. After the huge creature finished speaking, it slowly fell silent. Obviously it already knew what to do. At this time, the originally quiet depths of the Lei Ling Mountains had already become lively, because with the arrival of thousands of contestants. Is this the entrance to Thunder Pond? Such a strong power of thunder can't be said to restrain the power of evil. Now our safety is in danger. Many people gathered around the lake, watching the thunder that kept emerging on the lake water, exclaimed. It was strange to say that in the depths of the Lei Ling Mountains, there was an extremely empty flatland all around, and above the flatland, a huge raised lake appeared in the center of the flatland. At this time, all around the flatland were human figures. The figure floated slightly so that he could just see the lake. The entrance to Thunder Pond is right here? Looking at a group of 2-star Doshen perfection-level powerhouses around, Mu Ji looked at the lake below and wondered. According to Pastoral's investigation, there seems to be nothing under this lake except the looming power of thunder. It can't be wrong, I remember it clearly. At this time, Du Chifei naturally wouldn't joke about many things in the Thunder Tomb, but before entering, his father explained it again and again, so Chifei naturally didn't what will happen. It's a little weird down there, the entrance should be down there. The next moment, Xiao Yang and Yun Qi said in unison. In that case, it's not too late, go down immediately to find out where the entrance is, or things will change. Feng Yu's face on the side was also extremely ugly. Obviously, the previous battle with the foreign evil clan was vivid in his mind. At this time, it has been controlled by the foreign evil clan. I'm afraid things won't be so simple. Xiao Yang didn't act rashly, but looked slowly into the sky. Out of intuition, the sky at this time was already filled with a thick crisis. Just when everyone was puzzled, Yun Qi said slightly, he is still here. Boom. The next moment, above the sky, green thunderclouds expanded and condensed at a speed visible to the naked eye, and then at the center of the thundercloud, a man in green robes stared fiercely. There are many strong men standing on the lake. Master of the Holy Flame, I said it. You can't run away. Phantom Tong smiled evilly, with a mighty aura. His aura was stronger than the sum of all the people below. What should come will always come. Seeing this, Xiao Yang seemed to have expected it for a long time, and his eyes became deeper. This phantom pupil will be the last level for them to enter the sanctuary. If they are defeated, it is easy to say, but if they fail, I am afraid that what awaits them is destruction. Damn it, it's still a trick. Some strong people couldn't help but say, but even if they guessed that the foreign evil race would be ambushing their subordinates around the Thunder Pond, they had no other choice, because the entire Thunder Tomb is the only one here. Refuge, if they don't take refuge in the Thunder Pond, they will sooner or later become part of the evil tribe outside the territory. Although your strength is tyrannical, it is a little unrealistic for one person to deal with thousands of us. Xiao Yang's body slowly separated from the large army and floated into the air. Facing a powerhouse at the level of Phantom Eyes, he was present. All the powerhouses of, even the pastoral song that has already been half-step 3-star Do's Yan can't solve it, only owning the Holy Flame can temporarily hold him back. Ha ha ha. Master of the Holy Flame, what you say makes sense. So let your companion entertain you well. Come out, my legion. At the next moment, a deafening voice continued to emerge from the flat ground where everyone was standing, and at the same time, one after another silhouettes suddenly emerged from the flat ground. These silhouettes that emerged, each of them were filled with extremely evil fluctuations, and the 4 gods had no masters, so they were controlled by the illusion pupil. Xiaoxin, how could you? Miu Miu, are you also under control? As more and more figures emerged from the ground, the thousands of powerhouses present suddenly couldn't help but turn red, because every name, they are all their companions, but now they are going to fight against their companions with swords, making their hearts feel like a knife. It's really despicable. Xiao Yang immediately frowned as he watched thousands of similarly controlled evil figures appear below. Next, let's start our war. This time, I will seize the holy flame in your body together with you and send it to my lord. As soon as the voice fell, the green thundercloud beside the green-robed man suddenly became whistling, an evil force after another. The green ray of light keeps rolling, like a real devil. Yun Qi, you go down and look for the entrance to the Thunder Pond, and the Guardian. After finding the Guardian, show it this silver thunder. I'm going to help Xiao Yang. Duan Qi slightly separated a small thunderbolt from between his eyebrows, and then slowly sent it into Yunqi's hands. At this time, only Yunqi and Muge were strong, those who can be entrusted with important task. Okay. Yunqi heard the words, and naturally knew the seriousness of the matter. He immediately took the thunder that Qi Fei gave him with his palms, and swept away at the man who was arguing with the evil man above the sky, and then plunged into the lake. Today, life or death, it's up to you all. Do it. At the next moment, Mu Ji raised his arms and shouted, spreading the fighting spirit of the powerhouses to the peak. In a short moment, several tyrannical battle fluctuations broke out. Mu Xiao, Blood Crystal, the opponents of the two of you are us. The next moment, Feng Yu and the others directly confronted the generals beside Shang Huantong. Boom boom boom. One after another terrifying attack erupted directly from the depths of the Lei Ling Mountains, including Liu Qing and the other strong men, who were also in a deadlock. Above the sky, Xiao Yang, Liu Qing and Mu Ji faced off against Huan Tong, and a world-shaking battle sounded slowly. This video will end here.